You guys are restless, video games and stuff like that. Okay, anyway, never mind this. Well, even though you're not going to see Internet of Things, you are going to do Internet of Things here. Okay. Now, you guys already have. I'm assuming that you enter the contest, the project contest, right? You know. You guys can answer, right?
The teacher told us about it.
Okay, well, this you're going to have to do a project, and your project is going to be based a lot on Internet of Things. So, some of you guys are familiar with the term Internet of Things.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. So, for instance,
I have heard about it, but not really, I don't really know, Professor.
So, for instance, Internet of Things means that, let's see, like this, this one here, means that every device inside well, not necessarily inside, but every device is interconnected through the internet. Not only computers and smartphones and stuff like that, but everything. You've seen probably smart refrigerators that tell you when your food goes bad or when you don't have something. But also imagine on a home, you have climate control, security, you have energy consumption, meaning that if you're spending a lot of money in energy or not, or you're saving energy, and if the blinds, the blinds in the windows can open and close according to a light sensor. So if it's the sun is hitting the window, the blinds close, but if the sun is not hitting the window, then the blinds open. So you see guys going into their homes and saying maybe voice activated Alexa, and Alexa turn on the lights or something like that. So all those little devices have to be interconnected. That's for a home, but you can do it for a garden, you can do it for a city, you can do it for a manufacturing plant, a hospital, for everything. So everything is interconnected. Okay, so for instance, this is a smart home. It has video cameras, has temperature sensors, has blinds, like I told you. It has access control. The washing machine is telling you what's going on. The stereo or this looks like a computer or a home entertainment system. The refrigerator is sending you information. So everything is interconnected. Okay. So what we're going to do is work a little bit on that, and you have to do a project with that, something like this. Remember, we already worked on a little bit on the layout. So you can do something, a layout. It doesn't have to be a house. It can be an office. It could be a hospital. It could be a school. It could be a garden. It could be different things. Okay. So for instance, smart garden. Let's see. This is not like the dashboard, maybe. Not very pretty. Let's do it like, I don't know, but, well, that's not a garden, that's like a, well, something like this, okay? This part here, in the middle. Or something like this. This is not a garden, it's bigger. Well, things like that. So what we're gonna do now, what we're gonna start working on, is certain sensors. We're only gonna work on certain types of sensors. Obviously, we're not gonna actually build the sensors. Everything's gonna be simulated, so that the temperature, well, in this case, the only one we're gonna use from here is the temperature, but we're also gonna have humidity and wind and stuff like that, so that the information that you're going to be receiving from the temperature from the sensors is going to be simulated. So no hardware, no sensors, nothing like that. Just a software, a little application that's going to be sending temperature readings or wind readings or humidity readings to your device. Okay, well, not to the device, to the application. So don't worry about the hardware. It's going to be all by software. Okay. So let's see if I can find another one that's well, this one has temperature and basically that. This one has humidity, I guess. Light, temperature. So we're gonna do something like this, okay? And you're gonna do a little design. So we're gonna start working on that. I'm gonna give you a lot of what you're going to do. This one's a little bit cooler. You can do this one if you want. So what we have here in the database, I haven't given you this. This one I'll give you tomorrow, but we have these two here. So what we have is device types, and device types is going to be the sensor. It might be a sensor that takes temperature readings, or it takes humidity readings, or it takes wind or light or whatever you want. Okay, so depending on the type of sensor is the type of information you're going to send. So right now in the database that I gave you, I gave you two device types. Oh, hold on. In the same place. So I gave you two device types, temperature and humidity. These are the little icons that we're going to use from Font Awesome. So remember, hold on. So you don't have to draw them. If you want to draw them, that's fine in your layout. But if you don't want to draw them, you can use them from here eventually, at some point. Well, you remember Font Awesome. There you go. The temperature. And the one I'm reusing is temperature high. So this one eventually, oh, actually this one. What's this different? I'm using this one here, okay, for temperature. And since I don't have for humidity, I'm using this one. All the ones for water are like for the pro version, the paper version. So I'm using this one because everything with water. Oh, this one is, but that's not humidity. Or humidity. They're all, you have to pay for them. So I can't use them. Okay. But that's what they are. So you have device types and you have devices. And the devices have an ID, a name, an IP address. The IP address, you're not going to actually use it, but eventually, if you were to incorporate the actual physical devices on your project, in order to get the readings from those devices and actually send configuration to those devices, to connect with them, you would need the IP address. So we're going to put them here, and of course the type. So every device is going to have a type. And well, we have 3 devices: inside and outside temperature, which are both temperature devices, and outside humidity, which is a humidity device or sensor, and the foreign key. Yep. So if you have that, what I want you to do is create a new project based on the world project, and you're gonna have the following. You're gonna have 2 folders. The app right now is empty. We're gonna do that next week. And you're gonna have the API. And the API is kind of like the world. Remember, in the world project, you have config. Just make sure that in the config folder, in config.json, you change the database, because you're gonna have world there. So don't try to use the database world, try to use the database smart home. Okay? So that's the only place you have to change it. The index right now is empty. We're gonna use it to test, but right now it's gonna be empty. And you're gonna have the class device type. And the class device type, as you can see, is very simple. You can come from country or state and just modify. The attributes for the device type are gonna be the same as the fields, which is gonna be ID, where am I? It's gonna be ID, name, and icon. Those are gonna be the attributes: ID, name, and icon. And you're gonna have your getters and setters. So set this up. The exception, you already have it. JSON, you already have it. MySQL, you already have it. The only thing that you need is to change the database and create the device type class based on other classes that we already created. Okay? Think you can do that?
Okay, Professor.
Okay, so I'm going to give you, let's say, 5 minutes to set that up. And just to make it interesting, there you go. Just to make it fun.